I want to bring up. Let's bring up the hairdresser Belinda Jeffries. Why not? She's a fucking loser. Cocaine addict. Well, she is. Didn't any investigator bother looking at the information I told them? I mean, did you not do an investigation since 2014 on her drug dealer Ush? Because I gave that information. That's in 2014. Sorry, you had him under your radar because of me. But thank you. Yeah, I don't use drugs. You want to see toxicology reports? There's no way in hell I'll be so. What is it? Like some ridiculous Ajax that they show at the nose? No, thank you very much. I don't want to touch shit like that. Fuck me dead. God, I'm someone that looks at, like, when I go to the doctors and they prescribe any medication for like my cholesterol. I'm like, okay, what's in it? What's going to do to me? Like, so you've got some dickhead hairdresser, Belinda Jeffries, who didn't know me from a bar of soap before 2013. Late 2013, I go there for a haircut and treatment, and she's coked off her head. Well, I didn't know she was coked off her head. I just thought she was just bouncing. I mean, because I've got like a bouncy personality where I'm always bouncing around, dancing, having a good time. That's me. My natural energy is that. You know, enjoying life. But then when she spoke, I thought she was meant to retarded because she speaks like this. Hi. They call me, oh, it's Billy B. Oh, they call me Oney. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, okay. And then she starts talking about her massive big cocaine habit and her cocaine dealer, Ush, this Russian guy from King's Cross, and what they get up to. I'm like, oh, okay, this makes so much more sense now. Because I'm sitting there going, oh my God, what moron calls himself Busy Bee? Like, is she mentally retarded? Like, are we in kindergarten? Because she goes, I'm going to call you Juzzy J. Like, seriously, I don't even let, like, I was raised correctly where even my grandparents were always like, don't let people call you for your first name. It's your last name. Like, you don't know someone unless you know the last name. That's how original it used to be. Well, how do you know that person unless you know their surname? You don't know them. And that's the thing, like, unless you know their surname, how can you say you know that person? So any business should not be calling you by your first name anyway. And I'm there going, and that's how I was raised. Sorry, it's just respect. I mean, I still call my twin sister's ex-in-laws Mrs. and Mr. And I've known them for, known them for years. Whether I've had anything to do with them or not, I still call people that I knew when I was a kid Mrs. and Mr. Mrs. and Mr. Morby, mum's neighbours. Mr. Bly, mum's neighbour. The only one of the neighbours I've ever called by the first name was Marge, the eccentric millionaire next door. Marge. Actually, I'm trying to think. Yeah. Mr. Inwood, Mr. Dunn. Well, because that's how we were raised. I'm just like, funny, like, what? There wasn't. Oh, no, Esther used to always go, oh, call me Esther. But Phil was always Mr. Morby. I never called Phil by his name, Phil. I've never actually called him Phil. Like mum's old neighbours. So Phil and Esther Morby. Yeah, it wasn't like Esther came round. I'd be like, oh, Mrs. Morby. She's like, call me Esther, Justin. I'm like, all right, Esther. But Phil was always, Mr. Morby. That's how I was raised. Even the Mr. and Mrs. Blundell who lived across the road from Nan and Pop in Curry Road. It was always Mrs. and Mr. Blundell. That's how you're raised, respect. So, I mean, that's how normal people are raised. But you definitely, Belinda Jeffries isn't. She's like a dragged up person. She's almost like, Belinda Jeffries reminds me of the character that's my mother's deadbeat sister, Robin Childs. Robin Childs' friends and Robin Childs' daughter, Christy Childs. That's who Belinda Jeffries used to remind me of. I was like, oh, God, they're just scrubbers. Anyway, so she's there carrying on, and it's like, oh, God, she's calling me Juzzy J. Oh, Juzzy J. I'm like, oh, God, that is so kindergarten. Yeah. And it is like, when I was a kid, I actually used to be called Jay. Hey, Jay. I did. Actually, Alan Tung used to call me Jay. Alan Tung, who played for Canberra Raiders. Yeah, Alan, I don't know what happened to him. After we moved from Sydney, so I moved from Sydney, and Alan Tung was the first friend I ever made after we moved. Actually, and that's true. I used to play soccer in Sydney, and the reason why I played 2 years of rugby league was because I made friends with Alan Tung, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I hate rugby league. Hated it with a passion. I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Coming from soccer, where's my soccer trophies? Oh, it's in the other room. Coming from playing soccer my entire life to going, I don't get it. You pick up a ball, you run, you get pummeled. you pick up a ball off the ground. You run, like, there's no skill to it. Like, I just did not. I'm like, no, I'm not for rugby league. I want to play soccer. Mum's like, well, there's no soccer here. Like, basically. So, anyway, so I did. Alan Tung was the first. Alan Tung who played for Canberra Raiders. Was the first friend, actually. First friend I made when we moved from Sydney. We didn't go to the same high school. I was only briefly went to school with him. And he wouldn't even remember what my surname, but that my surname is Fleming. He wouldn't. Because it was that, oh, hang on. What was this? My dog wants me. But I'm going to find this. Hang on. All right, so what I was just saying. So, like, in April 1989, I was 10. So, the week of my 10th birthday, Mum decided to run away with her second husband. Like, the guy she just remarried. So, unfortunate, like, the people, like I've said, like, yeah, they did make mistakes at first when it came to calling Amanda and myself by our stepfather's surname, but I corrected it straight away. So, Alan Tung used to call me Jay. So, Alan Tung, who played for Canberra Raiders, he was the first friend I made when we moved from Sydney. And I'll show you. So, him and Shane Hart, the two first friends I made when we moved from Sydney, and that's why I'm like, all right, well, they didn't have soccer at my school. So, basically, went from St. Aidan's in Rooty Hill, and I played soccer down the road from there, to Mum's like, all right, we moved to a completely different area. We knew nobody. So when Mum moved from Sydney, she really moved from Sydney. Like, I'm telling you, like, she moved to where no one knew us, you know, at all. Like, a long way, well, not 4 hours from Sydney, with her second husband. And it was like, okay, there's a school down the road from where I brought. You go to that school because there's only 2 years left of your primary school. Then you can go to the private high school, basically. Hang on. No, Baxter. Okay, my dog, I can pause it, has to be lifted around everywhere with his back legs. So he's gotten so used to barking orders at me. I'm his little lap dog that has to lift his back legs up everywhere. All right, he's a sweetheart, my dog. Literally, he sits there, barks at me. I've got to call him Maisie, like Mary, my great-grandmother. Because, honestly, if you knew my grandmother, how she was when I was growing up, it was like, Justin, help me off it. My dog's the same. I was like, are you channeling Big Nan? Like, he has got bad legs. So he goes to the sofa and it's a bark, which means come and lift me up. And he does it. It's so sweet. Oh, he does a little 2 paws up and I lift his back. Oh, anyway, I won't get on to that. So what I was saying, so April 1989, Mum decides to move. We are talking about a completely different, we're talking about a spanner in the works of a change of lifestyle. Like, you could not believe. Like, it's almost like what TV shows are made out of. Like, going from Sydney to 4.5 hours where you knew no one, you had no friends, you had no family. School, completely different. It was like, what the fuck? Like, I show up with ghetto gold earrings, rings, bling bling. And I'm like, what the fuck have we got ourselves into? And I was like, all right, you make friends, you're going to fit in with these people. I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't fit in with rugby league. I hated it. But they liked it. They grew up with it. I grew up with soccer. So Alan Tung, he's Alan Tung from Canberra Raiders. When, oh God, he was, God, how old would he have been? I think he's would have been taken around about that time. So got it on the back. Yeah. That is Alan Tung from Canberra Raiders. When I was a kid. Oh, yeah. Okay, we rock up, Amanda and myself, we have our own cameras. We're going to, like I remember like they were there going, you've got like our Walkman had rewind on it. Like, so yeah. Like, we were city slickers moving to, like, you know, like, it was just like Schitt's Creek. Actually, it was like, wow, it really was. He's actually me. When I said to people, I used to have, like, as a kid, I used to have blonde hair. Here is me as a kid with in my soccer uniform. I must have got 4 here at this age because my hair hadn't gone completely black yet. That's me. So that's me in my soccer uniform for Duneside Hawks. Anyway, but as I started losing that toddlerish hair, my hair, you know, went the way it is. I'm looking for, here we go, Shane Hart. So, Shane Hart played rugby as well. But I was like, and when we went to the same high school together, Shane Hart and myself. So that, right there, where am I on this? Okay, that's Shane Hart. Just there. Huddy. On Palamore. That's when I just first moved Yeah, we just, like, literally, like, it was like, oh, God, it was a shock to the system. But not bad, it was just different. Like, it was just, like, I mean, I end up, I just don't like nature, to be honest. Like, really. Oh, here's my birthday. Okay, Julie Kiddo. All right, I'm going to show this. Wait a sec. All right. This here was Australia's first year #1 apprentice chef. That's Julie Kiddo. I don't know what she does now. I don't know if she continued with being a chef. But that cake that she made right there, that was absolutely amazing. She used to work for the Powerhouse. Anyway, an old friend who I used to know years ago, back when I was 19. Anyway, that, and so some of these people wouldn't remember because they wouldn't know. A lot of them only actually knew my stepfather's family, because my mum moved with my stepfather's family, basically. So they don't really. Well, none of these people know my dad or my dad's family, or they don't really know much about our life in Sydney. Only about our life when mum moved, and I moved back to Sydney. Like, I just moved back home, not for any reason other than the fact that I'm from Sydney. I don't like the area that my mum moved to. Like, it's not like I was born in the area, I was raised there. Like, it's not like I was moving from my home. It's like, oh, it's just where mum moved with a second husband. But like, when I lived at, I love where my dad lives. And I find when my dad lives at Empire Bay to be, oh Christ, there's so much bush around here. Like, it is beautiful. He's up on the hill, Hillcrest Road, Empire Bay, and overlooks the ocean. Dad's lives at Empire Bay as long as Mum's lives in New England. It's stunning, like where Mark Fleming lives. Oh, it's beautiful. You've got the ocean right behind you. But it wasn't for me. Like, it's too much bush. Like, I preferred the houses on the stilts on the hill that overlooked the ocean, the other side. So he's like, oh, like that area. It's like, I didn't want to be with a big block. Like, I wanted it, like, it was a house. So the houses I was looking at when I was looking at Central Coast were all stilt houses built on the mountain. So it was all house, basically. Like, all your space was just, the whole land was covered by house. And you looked out across the ocean. So it was all inside space. So it was basically, your whole block was built as far as you could build, all house. Like house, all inside space, because that's what I like. And with a bit of space on the back to put it inside, like swimming pool if you wanted to. Because that's what I like. Anyway. And I'm going to show you, I've already done this in another video. But back, so yes, I used to hang around Crown Street, Surrey Hills in my teens. I did. I was always in Sydney anyway, and there used to be other art galleries there, but the Trinity pub that everyone, the Trinity pub's been as Trinity as long as I can remember. Really? Then you weren't there in the 90s, because the Trinity pub was a cafe. I've said this years ago to fucking my ex-Geo. I was like, well, you weren't in Sydney long. Like, before my ex-partner Giovanni, like, before he met me, he wasn't in Sydney long. I'm like, the Trinity wasn't always a pub. It was a cafe years ago. When I was a teenager, that was a cafe. I mean, we used to go, I've gone to that cafe with Mum. Like, when we had the horses up in Moore Park. But I used to, there's actually, then I went there, I think it was me who even suggested it with the school. So where the Trinity pub is, I'll show you exactly what it used to look like. I've still got a photo of it. This is taken in 1995. Oh, Baxter, I'll come in a minute. That's Crown Street, Surrey Hills, Elephant Cafe. It wasn't the Trinity pub back then in 1995. Let me tell you, that person right there, taking the photo, that's Miss Gill. That's a friend of mine, Bradley Gill's sister. That person sitting there with the back to the camera, that's Hope Willingham. That person there, that's Shane. That's not Shane Hart, it's another Shane. Can't think. Shane Vincent, actually. That might be. Can't think who that is there. But anyway. Those two girls just there in the doorway. Well, that one where my finger is, that's Rebecca Munro. And that one there in the dark top, looking very gothic. That's Amanda Young. Like, yeah, that's us all hanging out in Sydney. We went to Lather Rosa College in Tamworth. But we're in Sydney. We're going to see the Symphony Orchestra. The Sympathy Orchestra. Actually, that one might have been the same day. No, hang on. What am I wearing? Let's see if I don't know. Because I was dressed up for the Symphony Orchestra. Yeah. So, the Elephant Cafe was all these people that go, oh, well, I've lived in Surrey Hills. I'm like, okay. Well, it wasn't the Trinity Church back in the night. Sorry, it wasn't the Trinity pub back in the 90s. Okay? It was a cafe. I know, because I used to go there. So I'm telling you what it was. I've had discussions with people they've moved from Adelaide. Fucking Adelaide cunts, can't stand them. Oh, we moved from Adelaide to Sydney. We know everything. You moved from a country town, Adelaide. I've seen your old airport. Tamworth Airport's bigger than yours. Parramatta's bigger than Adelaide. Fuck off back there, you dickheads. So I've eventually had people go, oh, well, I know this, I know. It's like, well, you don't, because the Trinity pub was a cafe. I know, because when I was a teenager, I used to go to that cafe. I didn't drink. Coffee, massively coffee, always been a coffee guy. So hang on. There's a clearer one. Is that Lauren Keegan smoking? Most likely, because she used to get away with it. I can't see in that photo with my glasses on. Bullshit. Okay. This person here, that's Lauren Keegan. Has she got a cigarette in her hand? She always had a cigarette in her hand. Lauren Keegan, Shane, Amanda Young. That's right there. That photo is taken in Crown Street, Surrey Hills in 1995. Oh, yeah, the Rat Pack. Yep. Arty, music, theatre. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, there's that. So, yeah, so I went to Lady Rosewood College. And then, like, basically, when I was at Dad's, so I missed first term of year 10 because I was back home living in Sydney. I moved back home to Sydney, and then we're there. Dad's like, okay, what are you going to do? Because you're going to finish year 10. Okay, you're going to go to TAFE for year 11 and 12, aren't you? And do the call. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, you've got to finish year 10. It's like, all right. So I was living at Dad's in Empire Bay. He's like, well, you want to go to Kincumber? Like, do you want to go up here, or do you want to go in? Do you want to go to the school in City? You know. And anyway, look around. It's like, but I don't have my same electives because I've chosen my electives. I'm already started my year 10 major. My year 10 major was 5 paintings based on Rome. They're in here actually. So I actually started learning Italian and everything. I'm coming, honey. Stop your little whinging. God. Yeah. All right. I'll be there in a minute. I'll finish the videos in there. Give me a sec. That's my dog whinging in the background. I'm not next to him. Hang on. I'll see if I can find my year 10 major in this. And that's it. Because my year 10 major, I had already started studying Florence, Rome, like all the great Italian artists, and stucco. Stucco is actually in my painting. So I actually, stucco or stucco, whichever you want to say. Hang on. And it actually is a medium that is used in my year 10 major. So anyway, so Dad said, look, sorry. So all right, I said, look, Dad, I'll go back and finish year 10 and I'll come back as soon as my certificate's done. So I'm not even going to wait for it, basically. I said, I'll just leave and come back down here. I was over being around. Nothing to do with the people that I live around. More to do with by putting up with my mother and her second husband and her family. Like, they moved there. It's like, and I'm like, what am I going to do there? Like seriously, like, even Dad was like, hey, what do you do there? Like, I can't stand it. Like, it's Mum's environment with her second husband, but like, fuck, there's that much. Oh, like, it's so much nature. Here we go. Like, yeah. Oh, and that's the thing. So, okay, surname's Fleming. They used to get so confused. I don't know why. So that's 5 paintings. It's me. It's 1, 2, 3, 5 paintings that I was doing. So I'd already started my year 10 major in art. Anyway, yeah, they used to get so confused because they didn't understand. You talk to some people that just knew my mother and her second husband. They're like, but Carol's name's Rackley. Like it was like this shock. It's like, and Justin keeps saying his name's Fleming. I feel uncomfortable writing Fleming down. I'm like, my surname is Fleming. Like, I'm like, oh God. Mum just remarried. Like, this is what it was like. I kid you not. I'm a 10-year-old kid doing this. It'd be like, I don't know. My surname's Fleming. And they're like, oh, okay. It's like, but Carol just said her name was Rackley. I'm like, no, my surname's Fleming. It's like, and like, literally you have people that go, oh, I feel uncomfortable doing this because Justin says his name's Fleming. And I'm like, yes. My mum's just remarried before moving here. That's not my father. That's my stepfather. This was a common thing. So this is why I say to people, it's like, look, if they knew me as if you ever had a conversation with me in your life, you know my surname was Fleming. I never let anybody call me by the incorrect last name. And even in the horse world, so I've literally had people come up and say, oh no, I knew him as this. I'm like, impossible. And impossible because all my actual documents were on the name Fleming. And that's my actual surname. So anything I ever did, including theatre. So there is not one person that can say I knew him as anything other than Fleming. Certificates for the Dramatic Society. What else? Oh, semi-finals for Models Quest. There we go. I knew I had that somewhere. Musical Society. Fleming. Okay. One mistake. There we go. Same person who obviously didn't know me. Rocket Stedford. Barks. I'll be there in a minute. Fitted on the Roof. Fleming. Pirates of Penzance. Oops. Fleming. So I've often said to people, I said, look, if they've had a conversation with me, they know who I am and who I'm related to. I've made it clear. Fleming. 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 Runner-up. Oh, Models Quest, I came runner-up in the finals. Yeah. Won all my heats. Fleming. That's not what I was looking for. I was actually trying to find my writing stuff. So if they actually spoke to me, had a conversation, they're like, oh, hang on, no. Justin's explained. Carol's got a new surname because she just got remarried. So literally, if you spoke one word to me in your entire life, then you knew my surname was Fleming. If you're drawing conclusions because you know my mother and my stepfather, and you're like, well, hang on a minute. Justin says that's his mother. Well, I know his father. It's like, no, you know my stepfather. And in knowing my stepfather, you also know my stepbrother. That's the problem. So here's when I won. Where is my glasses? 1998. Okay, section Mount Rider Equipment Riding Competition. 7-1 Mount Rider Gentleman and Equipment Open Contest Rider, 17 years of age and over. Catalogue number 149, J.M. Fleming. Okay, that's from the Royal Association, the Royal Agricultural Association. So they did know me as Fleming. Okay, and I've got all these still. So they knew me as Fleming. The problem is if they didn't know me, if they're drawing conclusions. And I've said this so many times, I said, look, if that person knew me, they would know that my surname is Fleming. It's that simple because all the documents were still in Fleming. The only time things were ever made a mistake was if someone didn't know me and they went, oh, hang on a minute. This actually happened a lot. Like, I'd tell people, it's like, no, my surname's Fleming next to me, but like, his name's not Fleming. I know his father. It's like, no, you know my stepfather. So then there'll be documents going, Rackley, and I'll get it back. I'm like, why did you put Rackley down? I told you that my surname's Fleming. So, and I'll tell you when this actually happened. Right here. A newspaper article. When I did a mural for the Tamworth Library. So I was there for 6 years. So that's why people... Look, I was only there 6 years. Here we go. So that's me. Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, my hair's jet black, has been. Yeah, that's me wearing the school tie. See the centre. Arms folded. That's me right there. Black long hair. Buff head. I'll be there in a minute. So the person who actually was doing the article knew my mother and my stepfather because I said to them my surnames. So they took my name as Fleming, but they put it in the article as Rackley. I'm like, well done. My name's not Rackley. You were just told. And they were just smart asses that knew mum from the horse world, basically. Same as this one when I was doing downtown. And that's me there. That's Lucy Hunt. That's myself. So that just means smart asses because they thought, that, like, and they're still doing it today. It's like, you're a fucking dickhead. Like, they were like, oh, he wants to be called Fleming. Oh, he's changed his name from Rackley to Fleming because it's posh. I'm like, no, my dad's a builder. Mark Ian Fleming. Still lives in Sydney. Mum just moved here with her second husband, but you keep getting told this the same thing over again. It gets boring. So there was people that actually I liked from the area, and there was people that are absolute fucking losers of people. And those fucking losers of people are the same ones today in the last 10 years going, oh, I knew him. No, you didn't. And you also described my stepbrother, Daniel Rackley. So, and that's gone on for 10 years. I'm like, in 2 countries, I'm like, oh, you're a fucking loser. So there's a group of people. So anyone that would actually show up and say, "I knew Justin when he was briefly in Tamworth for 6 years." I haven't seen him since '95. No one could say, unless they ran into me on a holiday, could say, "Oh, I've seen him after '95," because I moved back home to Sydney in '95. Even though I did pass through there for Models Quest and to work at the Powerhouse in '99, I was still only there to '95. All right, I'm coming. My dog wants me.